Nearly $4,000. That is what the average American family will pay over the next 10 years, replacing 10 kitchen items they have already purchased once. The same kettle gets replaced, the same blender, the same refrigerator, 3 to 4 times each in a single decade. Today, I will go through all of them, ranked from the most expensive mistake to the smallest. The $20 mistake sits at the bottom. The bigger the regret, the louder it echoes in the cabinet next to your stove. Most American kitchens own at least 4 items on this list. My own has cycled through 6 over the years. My mother's kitchen has cycled through 8. By the end of this, you will know why each one earns its place, what the brand quietly counted on you missing, and what to purchase instead. We start at the top with the Samsung Family Hub refrigerator, the smart fridge with a touchscreen on the door that plays Netflix, keeps a grocery list, and displays images from a camera inside so you can see your leftovers from the produce aisle. Prices range from $3,000 to $4,000 depending on the trim. Larger 4-door French door models exceed $5,000. You hand over nearly a year of community college tuition for a refrigerator. Then the touchscreen fails. Across this generation of Samsung fridges, the front panel often fails between year 5 and year 7. The ice maker has its own track record. Samsung provides free ice maker service kits for owners of multiple affected models. A federal lawsuit against Samsung, claiming these fridges allowed frost buildup that disabled the fans, resolved through individual settlements in late 2023. The dismissal order was entered by a federal judge in the District of New Jersey that December. A repair technician in Albuquerque, with 26 years of experience on refrigerators, posted last fall that he no longer accepts Samsung repairs. The skill remains, but the parts pipeline is empty. Customers hear that the parts are gone and look at him as if he broke the refrigerator. The compressor on this generation is a sealed proprietary unit that most independent technicians refuse to touch. Samsung treats a dead screen as the whole repair, offering a replacement refrigerator. That is the path most families take. The refrigerator your grandmother had ran for 25 years on a single mechanical thermostat. The Samsung Family Hub typically lasts 7.5 years before the front panel turns into a glossy black tombstone over a working compressor. The alternative? A simple top freezer LG. 1 mechanical thermostat, 1 compressor, 1 job to keep food cold, priced $500 to $700 new, lasting 12 to 15 years, or if you're a patient, a vintage GE combination from the 1950s off Facebook Marketplace for around $200. That older model will likely outlast any comment about it tomorrow. Next is the KitchenAid Professional 6Q stand mixer. Priced around $500 at big box stores, this bowl lift design is the red mixer seen on every cooking show and is often on newly engaged couples' registries. Its gearbox contains viscous black grease held by a plastic cap. After 3 to 5 years of regular use, the cap softens and oil seeps down into the bowl. The Professional series is the worst, with the gear stacked directly above the dough. Open one after the warranty expires, and you find cracked plastic worm gears floating in black sludge with white plastic shavings settled below. While still hand-assembled in Greenville, Ohio, the brand is owned by Whirlpool. The machine wears the KitchenAid name but little of its engineering. The alternative is the Anchor Room Original Swedish mixer, in continuous production since 1940, hand-assembled in Anchor to this day. 10-pound flywheel, all-metal gear train in a cast aluminum case, priced $600 new with 15 to 40 years of service, about $20 per year over its lifespan. The KitchenAid costs $80 per year if lucky. Working down the list, the all-in-one combo cookers like the Ninja Foodie and Instant Pot Pro Plus promise to pressure cook, air fry, slow cook, steam, sauté, bake, roast, sous vide, and make yogurt in a single case. 12 appliances in one, the marketing proclaims. In reality, one machine runs 12 underbuilt subsystems, each barely adequate. Pressure gaskets fail, air fry baskets warp, nonstick coatings peel, lid sensors stop reading. The printed circuit board controlling the 12 functions is the same type that fails in other touchscreen appliances. In June of 2023, Instant Brands filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The brand was acquired, but the replacement parts pipeline remained thin. Owners of 18-month-old units are quoted, part prices exceeding a new machine. Average lifespan is 14 to 20 months, average price $240, costing roughly $170 per year. The real solution is 3 machines: a standalone pressure cooker, a standalone Dutch oven on the stovetop, and a standalone toaster oven or skillet for small frying and roasting tasks. Total cost for honest brands is around $250 all in, with lifespans of 15 to 40 years each. A machine designed to do every job tends to do each poorly and briefly. Next is the digital air fryer, the big basket fryer with 4 preset buttons and an LCD display on top. The one your son-in-law brought for Christmas from a warehouse club box. An air fryer is essentially a convection oven, a heating element above, a fan pushing hot air over a wire basket. That is the entire machine, a smaller toaster oven with a louder fan. The problem is the components surrounding it. The cheapest digital touch panels on the market control these units. The board sits 3 inches above an element, pulling 1500 watts and venting hot air across the components. Every use cooks the capacitors. Solder joints fail, screens freeze, buttons stop responding, and the whole appliance becomes a paperweight in 2 to 3 years. Repair shops walk away. Replacement boards are unavailable and would cost more than a new fryer. A faster path to crispy food is a countertop convection toaster oven with mechanical dials. Hamilton Beach makes a 6-slice convection model with knob controls for around $60, or simply use the convection setting on the oven you already own. It moves hot air the same way in a chamber you already have. Halfway down the list is the ceramic nonstick pan, the cream-colored skillet with a speckled interior labeled non-toxic and made of natural minerals. Almost nothing in that pan is actually ceramic. Real ceramic is fired clay baked in one piece at 2,500 degrees, like the dish your grandmother used to roast a chicken. What you bought is a thin layer of silicone polymer dusted with mineral powder sprayed onto aluminum and cured at a few hundred degrees. The chemistry calls it silicone. Marketing calls it ceramic. The coating fails on a schedule, 1 to 2 years for brand names, 3 to 6 months for low-cost imports. In early 2026, a court approved a $2.5 million settlement against Hexclad over labeling their pans non-toxic and PFA-free. The settlement covered the Hexclad name. The word ceramic remained, still stamped on boxes across kitchen aisles. The real fix is genuine ceramic or none at all. Emile Henry Marcini. France has been in business since 1850, priced $50 to $200 per piece. Or skip the coating entirely. A large cast iron skillet for $30, poured in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee since 1896, improving every year with use. Or a Dubai carbon steel pan for $70, made in France since 1830, built to last a generation. Next is the cheap stainless steel cookware set. You see a 14-piece set at a warehouse club for $99. The sticker says 1810 and lifetime warranty. You bring it home. The pans feel light, and you tell yourself it is modern manufacturing. The 1810 stamp is marketing. The actual grade is Type 304 austenitic stainless with 18% chromium and 8 to 10% nickel. After the nickel price spiked between 2010 and 2014, many cheap imported sets carried the 1810 stamp while being closer to Type 201. Type 201 uses 4 to 5% nickel, replacing the rest with manganese. It pits under acidic cooking and leaches into tomato sauce. The test is simple. Real Type 304 is heavy. A 10-inch triply pan should weigh between 3 and 4 pounds. The $99 set pans weigh 1 to 1.5 pounds. Hold one under the cooktop light. It feels flimsy. Heritage Steel in Clarksville, Tennessee, family owned for over 40 years, makes a 10.5-inch skillet from Type 316 Ti, reinforced with titanium for corrosion resistance and tougher than 304, costing around $150. All-clad D3 on a warehouse club day runs around $650 for a 13-piece set. Or a vintage Revere copper bottom set from Facebook Marketplace for $50 and an afternoon cleaning with barkeeper's friend. Smaller mistakes include pod coffee makers, Keurig, Nespresso, any machine using a sealed plastic capsule with a foil lid. A pound of regular coffee costs about $15 and brews around 60 cups, 25 cents per cup. The same coffee in a capsule costs roughly 50 cents per cup. 2 cups a day costs $350 per year versus $140 per year using a regular drip machine. Over a decade, that is $2,000 spent on aluminum and plastic packaging. The Keurig itself lasts about 3 years. The pump scales, elements fail, proprietary water tanks crack at the seal. Replacement parts are non-existent. The unit goes to the trash. The cycle repeats. The honest alternative is a Bonavita drip brewer with a single switch, around $70. A Chemex pour-over for $40, or the Mr. Coffee simple brew model for $25, lasting a decade with no circuit boards to fry. Grind your own beans, brew the pot, and save $300 a year. Finally, the Bullet blender. Nutri-Bullet, Magic Bullet, a countertop unit with a screw-on cup pressed into a motor base. Anyone who has owned one knows the smell. A brushed motor overworking. You drop in a banana, frozen berries, almond milk. The motor whines, the cup warms. 30 seconds in, the air smells different from breakfast. These units average a 1-year lifespan. The motor is brushed. Brushes wear, windings overheat, gear coupling at the cup base strips completely. In June of 2022, Nutri-Bullet's parent company received final approval on a $10 million class action settlement covering 600-watt and 900-watt blenders sold between 2017 and 2022. The lawsuit concerned cups expelling hot contents under blade-generated pressure. Over 140 personal injury suits have been filed against the brand since 2014. Settlements were paid out in store credit only. You bought a $60 device that does roughly what a hand whisk does for free, and it dies a year later. The Honest blender is the Oster Classic Beehive, priced $60 to $80. It uses the same metal-to-metal drive, coupling between motor and jar that Oster has built into the Beehive since the design launched in 1946. The jar is borosilicate glass. The base weighs 9 pounds because a real motor with copper windings and a heavy metal coil is inside. If budget allows, a refurbished Vitamix is $300 from the Vitamix outlet. Either way, you move out of the bullet category into a serious machine. Near the bottom of the list are black plastic kitchen utensils. The slotted spoon, spatula, ladle, a set costing $12 from the kitchen aisle. They look modern and sleek, an upgrade from the chipped wooden spoons your mother kept in a coffee can by the stove. In 2024, a paper in Chemisphere analyzed 203 black plastic kitchen products. 85% tested positive for brominated flame retardants. Many exceeded the European Union legal limit by over 1,000 times. The source traces back to e-waste recycling, old TVs, computer cases, small appliance housings, shredded into pellets and resold. Flame retardants sprayed into electronics during the bromine years remain. Pellets are dyed black, ending up as spatulas. Every time you scrape a hot pan, micrograms of those compounds shed into food. The fix is simple. Stainless steel utensils, one-piece hardwood spoons, or silicone with a published materials safety data sheet. Lodge makes a hardwood spoon for $9. Oko makes a stainless turner for $12. Open your utensil crock and remove black plastic today. The smallest mistake is the plastic electric kettle. Almost everyone misses this. You pay $20 at a discount store, plug it in, boil water for tea, thinking it is simple and timeless. You are wrong. A peer-reviewed paper in the Journal of Hazardous Materials found plastic kettles release between 3 million and 20 million microplastic particles per liter when boiling. Cold water releases about 300,000 particles. Heat is the difference. Every time the switch is flipped, the walls soften and shed plastic. Over a lifetime, people drink roughly 10,000 liters of kettle water. The kettle costs $20 and dies in about 3 years due to mineral buildup on the heating element. You replace it, the cycle repeats, and the particles remain. A kettle that lasts is built differently. Hamilton Beach makes a stainless model with stainless interior and lid for about $45. Allclad offers a premium version for around $130 if you want heirloom quality. Walls and lid are metal. Only the handle's exterior is plastic, clear of water. $45 buys a decade of service, less than $5 a year. Metal walls, boiled water with only its minerals inside. Now review all 10. Every purchase was marketed as an upgrade. Each parent company is publicly traded or owned by an investor group. Each brand once made something lasting 20, 30, or 50 years ago. Today, they make products designed to fail on a schedule. Add a sticker saying smart, eco, modern, or non-toxic. Mark up the price. Build the supply chain for the second purchase before the first ships. A household owning half this list spends roughly $3,500 over a decade replacing items. Vintage and family-owned alternatives for the same 10 functions cost about $1,400 all in and last 20 to 40 years instead of 2 to 10. Over 4 decades, that turns into $14,000 of churn versus $1,400 of heirlooms, a 10-to-1 ratio. The cheap kitchen costs more than the expensive one. A kitchen that avoids these mistakes looks like a wedding registry from 1965. A stainless kettle, a wooden spoon, a durable blender, a drip coffee maker, a stainless skillet, a cast iron pan, a mechanical dial oven, 3 separate single-purpose appliances instead of 1 combo cooker, a proper stand mixer, and a refrigerator that simply makes cold air. That kitchen outlasts the second house you buy. My aunt registered for an enamel-coated coffee pot from a department store in the late 1960s. She brewed coffee every morning for 50 years. The enamel inside the lid chipped, the wooden handle darkened, the base left a permanent heat ring on the burner. When passed on, the pot still poured. It is on my counter now, a 4-cup percolator with a wooden handle. It boils faster than the smart kettle ever did and cost less over 50 years than a single year of modern coffee pots. Please leave your thoughts about this content in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.